Previously on the Lesser Prophecies.
This is a piece of the Sigil of RK. I believe that this object can save Nirn, but I don't know how. Rika will know. Good luck with the whole world-saving thing. That
Where
sounds
are
very
you going?
interesting.
Arthur,
This one has family.
Wait, what?
Wait, you have family here?
Can you help us then? We don't know anybody around here.
He shouts, "No, I can't, bye."
I'm Endis Amen, and welcome to the Ashmoth Festival. First time, lovelies.
Two teams face off to see who can catch the most Azura moths. Hi, I'm Ethan. Are you an outsider? You guys are Outlanders, right? That's cool. Beck runs over and, through the course of movement, knocks Ethan down.
Can't win when they're cheating.
Someone really ought to put these jerks in their place.
I agree.
Lon, go ahead and take another swing. All right, you catch 12 moths.
Oh,
Nice.
Look at them all here, Gnak. Eat it. Eat them off.
He is seething.
Yeah.
So Nijma congratulates you and thanks you for participating in the Ashmoth tournament.
A pleasure.
Thank you,
It was an
Nishma.
honor. Actually, if you have a moment, Aravande had some just other things we wanted to ask you about.
Certainly I can spare a few moments for outsiders. What can I do for you?
Congratulations to the winners of the Ashmoth competition. While this year is a very clear example of why the game should be banned, it was certainly entertaining to watch.
I guess speaking to him more, say, can we speak to you in a private setting? There's a
Of
serious
course.
matter that we told you could be able to help us with.
Naturally. Please come this way. He walks you kind of across town. There is a Argonian mud hut. There was another Argonian in there, but he kicked them out. So I guess I should have explained this too. Riverbridge has a sort of a mixture. There's some Dunmar architecture and then there's some mud huts.
Because we're post-great houses, right?
Correct. So, Nijma beckons you in to a larger Argonian mud hut on the other side of town, kind of bids you to sit around the table and says, I have a few moments before duty calls for me to be elsewhere, but what can I do for you?
Was it Endis who told us about the Elder?
Avron has that ability to know who
How
she
to
needed to
find
talk to.
research.
So she
Researcher
talked
perk,
to...
yeah.
Yeah, so she went to the tavern owner where you guys got cleaned up
Breaks the immersion, yeah.
and breaks the immersion, told you where to find Nijma.
Okay.
I forgot about that wonderful name.
I've named every NPC, and I can see every single one, and most of them are hilarious, but none of them are as funny as Breaks the Immersion or Brucius Ducius, who I just could not get over saying that name last time.
So I begin relating to him. Thank you for giving us some moments. We're told you're the most knowledgeable one here. Aravande, would you share with him about the Arcade's acolytes?
Yes. Hold on, let me remember what was even going on.
It's been like ages.
It feels like so long.
Nijma sort of like steeples his fingers and sort of leans forward expectantly.
So Arvande will just kind of explain that we're trying to find them. Very
I assume
important.
we don't want to give out too many details at this point.
That's vague. It's not.
We just blasted out of a Daedric prison world.
No, we're
and
gonna
we
leave
stink
that.
to high heaven still a little bit now. You guys,
I bathed.
Yeah. Okay. So Nijma listens to sort of the vaguest that you can give him of you're looking for someone, they might belong to Arcade's acolytes. He nods and says, Argonians are not often experts on the divines. We're now, however, governing people of various beliefs, and it's confronted us with our ignorance in various matters. So we employ outsiders to help in matters such as these. So there is a Aedric historian a short ways from here. Her name is Sindira, and she runs a farm on the outskirts in a place called Guar Field. If anyone in Morrowind will know more about Aedric cults or people who believe in Arche, it would be Sindira. I can mark her location on your map. Do you have a map? Here, have a map. He passes you a map of Morrowind.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Perfect.
You're so nice. Thank you.
How far away is it?
It's about an hour's journey by wagon. There's actually a wagon that should be leaving here in an hour or two that brings farmers into that area to help work the area.
And a safe road to travel then?
Yes, very safe. It leads to the foothills a short ways south of the East March. No bandit activity that I'm aware of.
Wonderful. Well, I think that's all we wanted. Thank you very much for your help, and we enjoyed our time in your town.
You're very welcome. Congratulations again for winning the Ashmoth tournament and for taking care of Gnak. That was public service.
Anytime.
We'll be back if he's ever a problem again. Just let us know.
Yeah, we'll send a courier. They somehow just magically know where you are.
Isn't that just something?
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, so yeah, he bids you good day, and he kind of heads out for other matters.
All right.
Well, we head out the door back into the sunlight, and some of us are bathed, some of us are fed. We competed. I think we're all squared away here.
Did we leave anything back in the inn?
I should also mention the Vardvark and the Scamp are now trailing behind you again. Scamp with the cat face drawn on.
Oh,
He got his face
that's
painted.
right. He did.
He did get his face painted as a Khajiit.
Yeah, I'm a Khajiit.
I think it's very convincing, Scamp.
Someone said I was an Alfie. I think I'm fooling them.
Good. I like that plan better than being my
Scamp.
sibling.
I forgot.
So,
I ask the others if there's any supplies they think they need before we go that way. We may come back, we don't know, but if it's towards East March, we may be heading back into Skyrim. Just afterwards. No opinions? We paid for rooms. I say we go to the inn, just tell the innkeeper, we don't know if we'll be returning, but thank you very much, and go grab our stuff if we have anything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, and we did get 2 healing potions.
true.
I at least have 1 now. Yes.
You guys are stocked.
We're ready.
Someone might need a healing potion after taking a net to the head after Gnak attacked Titus.
I did take a bit of a smack.
Aww.
Did you take
The-
damage for that? I
Yeah,
can't
it
even
was-
remember.
It was 4 damage or
Thank
something.
yeah.
Yep,
It was
I'm
quite
4
the
hit points
blow
down.
with the net.
Are we level 2?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. My stats looked level 2, but I didn't change the 2 at the top. I just wanted to write it down right.
Cool. Yeah, you guys walk out of the mud hut. You're immediately swarmed by ash moths because Lon
We're
and
still-
Titus still have that stuff on them. And so
Oh,
you are
yeah.
immediately swarmed by moths. You
I'm a
go in,
princess.
talk to Breaks the Immersion. She thanks you for your patronage. You walk back out. You are immediately swarmed by ash moths again.
Let them land on me.
You're just a Tamrielic princess.
It's what I've always aspired to be.
Do Vardarks eat moths?
That's a good question.
And would that be a social faux pas right now?
I'm researching this one.
1 or 2. It's just the natural order. I mean,
That's probably true.
it's so adorable. Who could be mad?
With that, with the flock of moths and our party, I guess head towards wherever we see wagons would be gathering. I presume that's out
Okay.
the town. Wait, it's not really is it a walled city or no?
There's pieces of walls, so the town looks as though it's been probably knocked over. Either was knocked over from the Red Year or from incursion by the Argonians. And then after sort of that uneasy peace, they are now rebuilding with help from the Argonians.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I head down, I guess, towards the gate, because I presume that's where the wagons will come, and look around.
There is a wagon kind of loading up. There is 1 Dunmer getting on, but other than that, it's open. And so there's enough room there for the party plus Scamp plus Vardvark.
Okay. Walk up, say, you're heading to Guar Field, correct?
Riding out in just about a couple minutes. You planning to come?
Be happy to. What's the fare?
That'll be 30 gold.
Okay.
How much?
Is that a lot? No, 30. I'm thinking D&D gold. 30 gold makes sense.
Okay.
Elder Scrolls gold, that makes sense.
Is that for all of us or just per?
Yeah, that'll be for the whole group.
Do you
So
mean septums?
everyone says gold here? They actually in Morrowind they say drakes sometimes.
Ah.
True.
I grabbed the gold out and paid it. It's fine.
Oh, thank you.
Right, we left all of our gold with Titus. We
Oh, I have it all
Yeah,
anyway? Okay,
you
never
do,
mind.
yeah.
Then I'm not being generous. I'm just being the bank.
You're the bank.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, you're the purse.
I have like 20 gold on me, so I'm like, ooh, hope it's not.
Gotcha. That took me from 190 to 160, so we're still fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. All right, so you guys are hopping on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeehaw.
All right. Sweet. Transition music.
Side note, Varvarks primarily eat small insects.
So they could eat moths.
So
Oh
moths.
no. I hope he didn't eat too many of those.
Just see his little snout, little
Just see his
scrabbling.
little, like, his little tummy's just got a little bulge.
The little tongue.
I love it. All right, the wagon brings you out and around River Bridge. There was never a bridge, so we're going to say that you crossed the bridge now. That River Bridge is named after, and you ride kind of out and to the west, off into the foothills where the mountains are sort of the boundary for Morrowind. As you sort of go up there, you're seeing that it's growing just a little bit more verdant. It's not flourishing by any means, but this area is a little bit less destroyed. The Dunmer that's next to you is just sort of this broad-shouldered. Dunmer's Dunmer, very, very sort of sour-looking, very broad-shouldered, looks like probably does a lot of manual labor. The road swings around a rocky outcropping, and you are confronted with Guar Field. And so Guar Field is living up to its name. There's lots of Guar. There's a couple of farmhouses of varying sizes. Some seem to be growing cork bulb or salt rice. Others running Guar fields. The houses are built in old Plalu designs, but the most notable thing as you enter this area is these metal rods. They're about 2 meters tall, and they're stuck into the ground at random intervals. You think maybe at first maybe they were possibly like property markers, but there's just too many of them for that to make sense, and they're just sort of dotting the landscape.
Is the Dunmer still with us?
Yeah, the Dunmer gets off of the wagon as everyone sort of dismounts, and the whole time had never looked at you once, but now that you're talking directly to him, he kind of looks like Ron Perlman, we'll say.
Amazing.
Yeah, and he's just looking with like eyes of chipped flint at the horizon. At first he says nothing, and then he begins to speak.
Guar. Guar never changes. Since the Dawn era, when the Kaimer first settled Morrowind, our people sought freedom from the Aedric tyranny. As the centuries passed, we changed, forsaking our Daedric gods for the living gods of the Tribunal. But Guar never changes. After millennia of conflict, the Red Year sundered Vardenfell, reducing Morrowind to cinders. But it was not, as some had predicted, the end of the Dunmer people, but a prologue to another chapter of their bitter struggle. Now, late in the hour, a band of adventurers climb the slopes to Guar Field, full of questions, just as the Dunmer question who they are and who they follow. Me, I choose the fields. I choose the herds. Because Guar never changes.
Amazing.
Amazing. That was Vault of Daedalus.
Oh my god.
Bethesda UK community manager.
That is
That was
amazing.
amazing.
Ridiculously like Jon Snow.
Really.
Like ridiculously Kit Harington to like a T.
If I had been like, yeah, that was Kit Harington, no
I'd be
big
like,
deal.
that's
believe you.
amazing. Equally. Oh
We
my
already
god.
got Leamon on here, like, oh yeah, Kit
Yeah.
Harington's no big deal.
All the celebrities.
That
So,
was
yeah.
so good.
We'll say his name is Ronlin Perlman, and he's local Guar herder. And after his long monologue, he seems to sort of like snap out of his reverie and look at you again as though like curious what you have to say.
Baywin just kind of blinks and said, "Hey, thank you for that very personal anecdote." How long have you been working the Guar?
He says he's been coming around these areas for about 4 years.
That's That's wonderful. Could you tell us a bit more about this place, since you're a regular around these parts, friend?
I kind of pipe up and just ask, like, what are those spikes?
I'm just gonna reach over and try to pet the Guar.
I've been inspecting the Guar.
Aravande really wants to pet the
Pet the
Guar.
Guar. There's a couple that have
There's
like their
one
heads
that's
sort of
right on the
poking
edge
out.
up here that I've wanted
Yeah.
to meet.
She's so excited.
He's
She's
hanging out.
giving him little head pets. She's like, "You're such a good Guar."
I've got
You're
the
a good boy.
Vardvark on my shoulder like Pikachu.
Yes. To Faywin's question, he turns and says,
If you're looking for answers, you'll want Sindira. Middle house, top of the hill. If you need me, I'll be brooding alone, staring meaningfully at the horizon.
Okay. Well, enjoy your brooding. I guess we're gonna look for Sindira.
yeah, he crosses over the fence and starts working with the herds.
Okay.
He's a Guar brooder. Okay.
Yeah, he's a Guar herder.
Very interesting
Scruffy
fellow,
looking.
I guess.
I guess, yes.
Right. Well, let's go see Sindera. Goodbye, little Guar.
I give a slight berth to the metal spike beside the road, but I still stay on the road.
Can I? Like, I'm just gonna walk up to one and kind of give it like a real close look-see.
Sure.
Inspect magic.
I do see
Is
a
that
Guar
the thing you
standing
have?
next to one, so
Is
it's
it?
probably fine.
Yeah, does it look magical, or does it just look like a giant spire?
It's kind of tarnished, as though these have been here for a bit, but there's something in it that makes you think that there could be some arcane properties to it. Do you want to roll Arcana check?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, okay, I got it. Oh, not one. I don't know, diddly squat.
It's metal.
Why does this keep
Your
happening
Arcana
to
checks
me?
have been brutal.
This isn't fair. Yeah, well, whatever. Aravanda's just going to look at it. But she's
Inspect it.
really distracted by the adorable Guar running around, so she's like, well, let's just go talk to Sindera, stuff.
I love the idea that you're completely wide-eyed about Guar, that like magic, you're just like, yeah, whatever, but Guar.
I mean,
The
you
Guars,
know.
they're amazing. We want to pet them.
But she
I wanna
totally,
grab
as she's
one.
walking by the spire, she kind of like just, because she's in the back of the group, she just kind of looks at it over her shoulder, like real, just carefully, like there's something there, but she just can't figure it out.
While you are sort of half inspecting it, but also half looking at Guar, I like to think that this happens over your shoulder while you're not looking. Scamp sort of walks up and is like, yeah, that thing's kind of weird, and he just sort of leans against it, and it begins to glow blue.
Oh, I
Is it like
stop
an electric
immediately
fence?
and turn to it like, how'd you do that?
He doesn't seem to notice that it's happened, but there is a quiet...
Wait, I want to touch one.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
You touch
touching
it?
the one over here by the Guar that I'm looking at. Does
Okay.
anything happen?
No, it's dirty.
It's a Daedric trap.
Can I touch the one by me just to see if it?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm going back to petting the Guar now that nothing bad has happened.
Yeah, nothing happened. Scamp has sort of backed away from it quietly, and it stops glowing.
Oh,
I think we have a detect Daedra spell going on.
it only glows when Scamp touches it, right?
I mean, you have a little Daedra with you, so you could
Yeah. Can I
do the scientific method on it. if you
yeah.
want.
Can I just look at Scamp and be like, can I? And just kind of hold up my hands to pick him up.
Yeah, he lifts up his
Oh
arms.
my god, so adorable. Okay, so Armande just picks him up and is like, you're so good at this, and just kind of puts him up against the spire.
Yeah, it glows again and lets out a little...
Oh, look at that. That's really interesting. Magic.
I like to think that Aravande is holding Scamp close and then away. And
Oh,
close,
exactly.
and away.
Just clap on, clap off kind of light. You know,
Yeah.
just shove, back, shove.
This an enjoyable
Because
endeavor.
apparently, after all of my years studying magic, I don't know diddly squat.
So just very distracted.
Yeah,
Distractible.
she does it a couple times, and then she just kind of puts him down and goes, that's just fascinating. We should ask about those.
Yeah, we'll put that in our agenda for later.
Thank you, Scamp.
As I see the rest of them start actually coming towards me, I turn to continue the way towards the door, and then knock on it firmly when I arrive.
Okay. Yeah, you come up and knock on the door, and there's some sort of loud footsteps. The door opens, and out steps a Khajiit.
Unexpected.
Yes. So Sindira steps out. Supposedly, you assume it's Sindira. Steps out, and sort of has to lean under the door and then stands to her full height. And Aravanda, you're probably the tallest in the group, being an Altmer. You have to kind of crane your neck, and it's like your neck just keeps having to crane.
Oh.
She is enormous.
Oh! I love it.
That art is by ArtistRatPB on Tumblr.
So good.
Good job, ArtistRat.
Yeah. ArtistRat is so cool. So amazing Sindira artwork.
Is that a amulet of Zenithar? I love it.
Sindira, supposedly, steps through the door, looks down at all of you, and around the time that happens, you hear behind you just a little pat, 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 pat. Roll perception.
Oh, 20. At least I can know that one.
Sick. Yeah, you heard something, and coming up the hill, seeming kind of sheepish, is a familiar little kitty cat.
Our theory?
Is that our theory?
Our theory sort of sneaks in behind Faywin, sort of like near her boot. He is not cleaned up yet. Unlike yourselves, you guys are already pretty much washed up. This Khajiit steps out to greet you, and before she can say anything, sees our theory at Faywin's boot and says, "Our theory, it has been 15 years, not one visit, not one letter. What have you to say for yourself?" Our theory, not really knowing what to say, was like, this one was busy doing very important, very legitimate work, and was sure that you were busy yourself. So, hello, I'm here. Everyone, this is my sister. She looks at all of you and says, "Sindira, a pleasure, a pleasure. Our theory, we're going to have more talk about this later." Sindira looks at each of you with a kind face and says, "Are you here to work the farm? Do you need tools? Do you need any help finding your way around? What is it that you need?"
Actually, we come here because we're told you're a scholar when it comes to Adric matters, and we were directed by the elder Nijma from Riverbridge.
Oh, Nijma. He and I go way back. She sort of like chuckles and says, "All right, come on in. She says, "Our theory, there's a shower in the back. There's a big bucket. You can take care of yourself." And she beckons you to come inside.
Until this moment, I've never thought of an Elfique showering.
Yeah, they probably like do the tongue bath thing.
Yeah.
After being in like the
I'm
scuttling
just thinking
void.
no thumbs.
Yeah.
Or, like turn on a tap or...
Yeah. So yep, she invites you in, and the front room is like sort of a half living room, half kitchen affair. It's very clean, very orderly, but you can see in certain shelves and things like that, there's a lot of books, a lot of notes, a lot of things scribbled. So she seems to be both a farmer and an academic. So Aravanda, you feel pretty at home here.
Yeah, Aravanda is just immediately just kind of like, oh, and looking at all the shelves and the titles on them.
She says, "All right, so I understand that you want to know more about something about the Divines?"
In particular, we're hoping to find Arkay's acolytes. Just a matter came up, and one of their siblings told us about them, and we just don't know where to begin looking.
Arkay's acolytes. She thinks for a second, kind of like rubs her chin, and she says, "This one recognizes the name. Last century or so, cult, architects, warriors. It's a lot of history to unpack. Tell you what, let Sindira go through her books, and she can tell you everything you need to know by tomorrow morning. In the meantime, if you need somewhere to be, we've got beds upstairs. We've got dinner coming up soon, and don't you worry, little Bosma. We got Green Pack compliant fare in the pantry, so we can fix you up right."
Oh, thank you so much.
Aw.
Faywin starts like kind of like eyeing the cabinets and like checking out the goods.
Perfect. So yeah, in the meantime, you guys have the run of Guar Field.
Well, I want to ask Sindara while we're here and just be like, by the way, we just noticed all the tall spikes outside, and are those Daedric wards?
Yeah.
Sorry, where is Scamp while we're asking this?
All right, is one of y'all a conjurer? Can you unsummon your Scamp? I thought this was something that got sort of fixed back in the Second Era with everybody summon bears being a problem. Is this something that you guys can fix?
No.
He's not ours, per se?
But also, he's permanent. It's not like that.
Listen, lady, I'm here to stay.
Also,
so.
meow.
Yeah, he still has
That
the
probably
cut.
doesn't really work against real Khajiit, though, does it?
Yeah, not really fooling her.
I'm going to choose not to be offended by that. Okay.
He's still learning his manners of
All right,
Tamriel.
can you keep him on a short leash while he's here?
Armani just picks him up again, like,
It's like a teddy bear holding him.
yeah,
Okay.
we're friends now.
Okay. She says, all right then. Ain't much I can do
And
about it.
then
Then.
continue the question about the spikes.
Yeah, so back to the spikes.
Oh, you
Yes.
mean my detection rods? Yeah, it's something that I read about, and you get some blessed material, and you fold it in with iron, and you stick it in the ground, and it can, with a couple sigils, it can detect Daedric
Are
activity.
you concerned about Daedric activity?
Yeah, there's a lot of them. A lot.
When you study the divines like I do, sometimes you're a target. Now this one can take care of herself. She sort of just like chuckles, and you can tell just looking at her that she could crush pretty much anybody that tried to fight her. But she says, but helps to get a head start, helps to know ahead of time.
Understandable. Yeah.
So I'm going to kind of lean over to Titus and be like, is it just me, or is it a very, very big coincidence that we're now at our theory's sister's place, but nobody mentioned that before?
He stays there frozen for a couple seconds. And then as she's, getting ready to go into the room to study, he says, what do you most know our theory for doing? Like your siblings apparently, but what's his reputation? Because we met him today.
She makes a face like she's sort of trying to pick her words wisely, and she says, our theory, bless his heart, has had some trouble in Rimmon with some groups and different cartels. He's known as sort of a middle person for transactions. The few times I talked to him before coming to Morrowind, he said he was going legit. He said he was trying to change his ways, but this one doesn't know much about what he's done the last 15 years.
We don't really know either, but due to circumstances beyond our control, he knows all about what we're doing right now, and I'm hoping that doesn't end up becoming a problem. But I guess you'll be able to find out all of it at some point.
Don't you worry your little head. She's not going to research now. It seems like that's something she's going to do probably tonight. Right now she's working on
Just appeared out of nowhere.
Just like,
that is Zuzu or Azura. Yeah, she's not going to study at the moment. She is working on dinner.
After that little conversation, I say, do you know the Guardians of the Wheel? It's not something you need to research, but are you familiar with them?
Yeah, they were a group probably destroyed about 40 years ago. Something like that.
We met a member that survived that, and apparently her sibling, her sister, is working with Arcay's acolytes now, and that's who we're trying to find.
Did she
the
give a
woman
name?
we met was named Koros Al-Farik.
You met Koros. You met the Guardian of the Wheel.
do you know her?
Bright Moons. She says, well, I only know by reputation, never actually met
You
her.
say the Guardian of the Wheel, but we're also looking for a group called Guardians of the Wheel. Is that a particular leader, or?
To put it into like guild terms, like an archmage of some sort, had a connection with Arcay, unlike any other that I've seen.
So of the Guardians of the Wheel, she was the Guardian of the Wheel.
That's my understanding.
That would make sense.
They need to update their hierarchy. Less
They're gone now,
confusing.
so...
It's because of organizational dysfunction, clearly.
Ask Aravande about retconning history.
It was tax evasion, actually.
Really?
That's what caused their downfall.
I was like, wow, that's really juicy. No, what do you know? What caused them to? Do I know? I probably don't know anything. I mean, do you know?
You actually have a Chimer knowing stone, so maybe you could do a roll for history regarding magic.
I can reroll any history checks or magic. Is that a history or a magic check?
It would be a history check, but I'm gonna say it probably it deals with magic of some sort.
I've got to remember one thing in this campaign. 11. Yes.
That's good enough.
I know it.
Yeah, your understanding from your reading is that the Guardians of the Wheel were destroyed by a like vampire incursion. A large group of vampires.
It's always vampires or
destroyed them.
zombies in Tamriel. Has anyone noticed that?
Or Daedra. Looks at Scamp.
Just pats his little head.
Scamp's like, wow, that sounds awful.
Okay.
With that, I guess I ask if she seemed like she was going to offer us rooms to stay in, and I want to retire to there and rest until dinner time, because technically this is the same day we got back, right?
Yeah. So you guys have rested a little bit. It was like morning,
And on the
I guess,
wagon.
when you guys landed, and then it was like noontime when you did the moth festival. So it's coming up on evening. You know, sun's starting
Titus
to get
just
a
wants
little
to
bit
finally
low.
sit down. Like, he had the bath, but he just wants to sit down today
That's fair.
and wait till dinner.
All right. Yeah, Titus. There's a staircase kind of leading, and Sindira points you up there. Says that there's 2 rooms up there. One of them has beds. One of them is more of a library.
We know where Aravande's going.
Did you say a library?
Yeah, help yourself. Just don't mix up any of the pages that I got.
I
for
would
research.
never. I can't wait. Let's go.
All right, so Titus and Aravande head upstairs. So Titus, you've sort of retired.
I'm following up as well to the lay down on a bed.
All right, Aravande, you head into that little. It's a cramped little room. So this building is it's a little bit smaller on the second floor. The first room is much larger, takes up much more space, and it has 4 beds. Has enough room for kind of everybody to get comfortable. The other room across has kind of a stuffed little study, and there's lots of books about the divines, mostly about RK, though there's a few about, like, Julianos and a couple others. But they all seem to fit into a sort of category. As you're looking through them, you find a lore book.
Yes! I did it.
RK's Acolytes, 3rd edition. This dramatized edda summarizes the rise and fall of the Acolytes, and totally isn't a thinly veiled foreshadowing for the campaign.
Oh,
Thanks, Leamon.
this seems very important.
So the book itself is called RK's Acolytes. It's I think he said 3rd edition, and it's written from the perspective of someone who probably was an acolyte, and it sort of outlines some of their great deeds. They were builders. They built great towers and amazing buildings and things like that. They were also warriors of a type, and they fought many battles in Hammerfell. They fought undead where the Red Guards chose not to fight because it's kind of against their beliefs. In Morrowind, specifically in Vardenfell, they helped clear out some areas where there was, like, Daedra had sort of started to spill out of ruins and things like that after the Red Year.
As they tend to do.
As one does as a Daedra. And so there's several sort of valiant things that the book outlines, but it doesn't really give you an idea solidly of sort of where their headquarters were or where to find them.
Interesting. I'll thumb through it and then just real gently put it back on the shelf.
All right, so we've got Lon and Titus kind of snoozing.
Just resting.
Yeah, we've got Aravande reading up in the study. Faywin, what's your plan of attack?
I want to go check on our theory, actually.
Okay.
I kind of just want to have, like, a quick one-on-one with him. And just kind of...
In the shower.
Well, it's
He's
again
gonna
that.
clean himself up. Yeah, he's pretty much
Granted,
done
most
now.
Elfique only wear capes anyway, essentially, so I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
he's just putting on his hood when you get back, his little vest and hood.
How do
Okay.
you use soap?
I just had a lot of questions about Elfique shower.
Carefully.
Maybe they just rub up against the bar or something.
Oh, that's actually
That's
a smart
adorable.
idea, yeah.
They could do, like, a
Just
little
have it
dust
attached
bath.
like a wooden post, and then, yeah.
Takes a cat mom to think of that one.
He kind of gets out and he cleans himself up. He sees you and he's like, Faywin, my favorite shoulder.
Hi, our theory. Are you feeling better? Are you feeling cleaner now?
This one will feel much better after a solid meal and a good half night of rest, and then the rest of the night running around very fast.
Zoomies.
Elfique at the zoomies.
That sounds like a solid evening. I wanted to ask, your sister, she said you'd been gone for 15 years. Is that how long you were in the scuttling void?
Oh, no. Lord forbid. Maybe a month, 2 months? Time gets a little weird in the void. But this
Yeah.
one was thrown in there much more recently.
Ah, okay. So I just wanted to ask, how did you wind up there?
So this one told you, perhaps in passing, perhaps vaguely, perhaps with not a lot of detail, that this one was sort of a middle person between people for transactions, and a deal fell through, and the people who didn't get what they wanted happened to be worshippers of Namira.
And so
They just, I'm not there.
You're not there. That's what happens when you
Titus
go to bed.
continues to snore.
And so, what was?
Yeah.
Can I ask about the particulars? What happened? What were they after?
They were after something rather unsavory. This one thought it was a shipment of meat, and it was, but it was not the kind that I expected, and it was still attached to a lot of other grisly things that are better left unspoken.
Okay. Well, that's very insightful. Do you remember anything else about them? Any particulars?
All I remember of them was they were called the Midnight Court.
The Midnight Court. Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A little outlandish of a name. At that, from behind you, there's a voice that says, "Wow, that's a great story." And sitting on a barrel, sort of watching you, is a young girl. She is... You place her...
I thought it was Scamp.
Yeah, no. You place her maybe at kind of like late teens. She's got kind of a smug look on her face. And she appears to be Breton.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. What's your name?
I'm Ari. Are you here to farm?
We're just passing through, actually.
Oh.
Do you farm?
No. Well, I do all sorts of things. I like to go on adventures.
Ah, what kind of adventures are here on a Guar farm?
Not many, admittedly. Not many at all.
I can imagine.
She says, "My name's Ari, but I also go by lots of other names."
What other names do you go by? Any fun nicknames?
Yeah, I go by the Unscathed, Lichbane, Booming Voice, Silent Word, Dragon Tamer. The Hurricane's a good one. Bug Lord, don't ask about Bug Lord, I'm sort of workshopping it. And Moon Daughter.
Oh.
Around that point, Sindira sort of calls for her out of a window.
Okay.
For dinner, and she says, "Oh, I gotta go, bye." And she just runs back in the house.
Bye, Ari.
How old was she, seemingly?
Late teens.
Love the art.
Yeah, the art is cool.
That art is by Spookins.
Ooh.
On Twitter.
Spookins.
And they do fantastic artwork. So thank you, Spook, for the art of Ari.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
So Faywin kind of just like turns quick to Arthur and is like,
That was weird, right? That was a little weird.
Yeah, this one tends to find the more human species to be weird anyway, but that was definitely odd.
Okay, just wanted to be sure. I'm gonna go get some dinner.
All right, you all get dinner. You all come down. You eat. Ari's there at the table with you. There's a huge spread of food, and it's clear, Faywin, that there's some stuff there that is Green Pact compliant.
How Green Pact compliant?
So you can be Green Pact compliant without like eating people. So there's
That's my question.
you can be compliant.
How
but
Green
not
Pact
that
compliant?
compliant.
Knocks on the table with an apple in his mouth.
Yeah. You're all eating at the table. Ari is just kind of like snacking down. Sindira's not eating a ton, but just sort of like eating in a polite way when you have company over, that sort of way.
This is fantastic. Thank you again for your warm welcome.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. We try to keep ourselves prepared for when there's guests that stay here.
Do you get a lot of guests passing through Garfields?
Mostly people helping on the farm, helping with work and whatnot. We get Ronlin here, but he mostly keeps to himself.
Is he the brooder?
He's the broody one, yeah. You met him on the way in?
Rode the wagon with him. He didn't speak until Guar were in sight.
Yeah, when he gets around Guar, he starts getting talkative and reflective, but otherwise he don't talk much.
Very reflective.
Yeah, Scamp is sort of in a corner, has like an apple, is kind of chowing down. Our theory's kind of near the table. There's a little like saucer with some food.
Oh.
Does anything seem off about the meal at all, or is it all on the up and up?
Everything
feeling?
smells, tastes amazing. Good comfort food. other than like Arthuri seeming a little bit cowed by Sindira, who seems sort of mad at him that he hasn't really talked to her much. Ari seems very enthusiastic about eating, but she's also a teenager, so there's that.
Lon is as well, so not a teenager. They're enthusiastic about eating.
I was gonna say like, wow.
No, Lon's not young.
Ari has probably taken some time to like pet the Vardvark and pet Scamp. Probably tried to
kind of
Scamp up a few times.
So I'm kind of just asking Ari. So what brings you here? We haven't met. I haven't met her yet. Assume other than sitting down to dinner. Like, who are you? What brings you here?
Sindira says quietly under her breath, "Oh, dark moons." Ari just sort of like lays in with well, I was staying in Valenwood. I grew up there, but after a while I got bored, and I'd pretty much done all the adventures that I could there, and so I walked across Tamriel and came to Morrowind and knocked on Sindira's door and decided to stay.
You kind of give a side eye to Sindira to like be like, is that how it happened?
Ari's staying here for a while. She's welcome to stay as long as she likes. She's friends with our uncle Zakora, who's a tradesman, goes through Valenwood every so often, and he told her that if she ever needed a place to stay, she could come here.
Oh, well, that's very nice.
Very hospitable. Continue to eat.
Yeah, through a mouthful of food, Ari asks Faywin, "Have you ever heard of me?"
Not till just earlier this afternoon, actually, or evening.
Oh, that's really surprising. Like, I'm really well known in Valenwood.
Oh yeah, I've spent a lot of time recently adventuring outside of Valenwood, so it could be we just missed each other. How that goes.
We probably passed each other in the elevator.
Just missed each other.
Just kind of look across the table at Aravade with like a, what's happening here?
Armando just nods and just eats and just is like, yeah. Mm.
Did I ever tell anyone about how I got named Moondaughter?
No, but I would love to hear it.
No, we just met you.
You guys are like gaining like rapport with Ari and losing it with Sindira. Sindira is very clearly like holding the bridge of her nose like, oh my gosh. She says, well, while I was staying in Valenwood, there was a Khajiit named Rajan, and he called me Moondaughter because I beat him in a game of stealing stuff. Well, it wasn't really stealing because it was like his stuff, and he got it back in the end. But I beat him, and so he named me Moondaughter. And Sindira very slowly says, so Ari, you're telling me that Rajan, the Khajiit god of thieves, lost to you, a child, in a game of stealing? And she's like, yeah, well, that's what happened. He called it the Great Game, and he said that I won the Great Game. And she's like, all right, I'm going to choose that one's offensive. You can't tell that story no more.
Just awkwardly drinking, listening to this and trying not to cringe.
Odd family moments.
How does she respond to being told she's not allowed to tell it anymore?
She sort of shrugs, just goes back to eating.
All right.
To be young again.
Yeah, if you guys have any other questions, you can ask them. Otherwise, we can sort of advance time. It's up to you.
I think Armando's going to just awkwardly
so many now,
eat,
but I don't want to ask any of them.
I have so many that I cannot formulate properly yet.
Okay.
Let's continue on.
T to wait.
All right, so you guys are going to advance time.
We'll advance time a little. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So dinner finishes. No other odd moments. You guys go up, and it's time to sleep. Night falls on Guar Field, and there's a light rain out the window of Sindira's farmhouse.
Moody.
There's the occasional lowing of a Guar out in the field. There's not a lot of other noise. You guys have slept pretty soundly. there is a Vardvark who is keeping watch, by the way, as you all
as he
sleep.
does.
Yeah.
While we wait, I've been thinking in my head. Lon's been worried, and he thinks he needs to check with Aravande if maybe she took too many hits during one of our last adventures to the head, and that might be causing some of the forgetfulness. And maybe one of those health potions might be worthwhile in advance.
I think I'm the only one that suffered head trauma during our adventures.
Yeah,
Twice. You've done it twice.
Yeah.
but once was at Aravande's.
But we've been together
request.
for a while, and I'm just worried about Aravande that maybe something has happened.
She was the one sucked into that.
She normally knows everything, and then all of a sudden, just
she was sucked into that horror dimension, briefly separated from us.
True.
That she never fully told us about because it was too disturbing.
You never asked.
Didn't we? I thought we did, and you said you couldn't talk about it because you were
we
like,
didn't ask. I actually just got zooped out, and then we just kind of finished the boss fight.
Yeah,
and
I don't think it ever came up.
We zoomed out of the realm and landed in Tamriel. We were like, oh, we're smelly.
We're like, all right, that traumatic incident happened. I'm just going to move on. So yeah, you are all sleeping soundly. On that point, you are all sleeping soundly. It's your first real sleep since escaping the void. Except for Aravande.
Oh,
Aravande,
no.
you are having a dream of a black tower and a woman in a dress and a chase up the stairs, reaching the top. The person turns. They have no face. Don't be afraid. And this replays in your head over and over and over. And it's constant. The tower, the woman in the dress, the chase, the person at the top, the turn. And then on the last one, the person turns and says,
Wow.
You awaken to the Vardvark sort of pushing with his snoot against your face.
Wow. Okay.
The Vardvark seems somewhat concerned. As it's waking you up, the door sort of nudges open and Arthuri also creeps in, and he's starting to go from person to person, sort of making bread. You know how, like, cats do that? The sort of pushing thing? So he walks up to Faywin and against her arm kind of push, 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 and then goes to the next person, push, 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 and is starting to wake you all up.
What time is it? Is it dark out?
Yes, it is currently dark.
Oh, okay. And I'm just going to pet the Vardark too, but just a little, like, startled because I'm thinking of my circular dream and the scary chase and just reminded of all the wisdom checks I failed.
All your
Twice on that lady.
There's nothing urgent. It's just the normal morning alarm.
No. Arthuri comes up and says, listen, Arthuri awoke to race around the house in the early hours, as one sometimes does. You understand. And then this one noticed that Sindira's room door was open. And this one thought, does Sindira also race around the house in the early hours? How much racket would that make? But Arthuri wondered and went in, and she was not there. Neither is her ward. They're not here.
Her and Ari are missing?
That's right.
Are they out farming Guar? Could they be out farming Guar?
From the Guar tree.
Is there a window in the room?
There's no windows on the top floor, but there are on the first floor.
Well, I might as well just get up and trot on down. And does anything seem out of place downstairs?
You can see inside the rooms, but other than that, there's not really anything that seems out of place.
As soon as he gave that message that they were missing from the room, the others probably jump into action. I start putting my armor on.
Okay.
I think that takes like 5 minutes or something.
Yeah. Aravande, you said you're going to look out a window?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's a window off in the corner near the dining table. And when you look outside, you see this.
I knew it. And Aravande just kind of straightens and is like, we should go outside. I think there might be Daedra here.
Well, Scamp's right here.
but not Scamp, like bigger and meaner. No offense, Scamp.
Yeah,
you're lovely.
take it. I get it.
Yeah, but the ward. Look, it's blue.
Lon hears that they're about Daedra, runs back to his room, grabs weapons and things that he may need.
Okay, everyone's sort of prepping.
Yeah.
We can just sort of assume everyone's prepared now. All right. As Aravande sort of points out that there is some glowiness outside, you can stop long enough and you hear... It's this sort of intermittent hum.
Oh, that's a lot of lights.
Oh dear.
They're all lit up.
A lot of blue lights greet you as you exit the house. There is a light rain, and you're feeling it kind of against your armor.
Are the Guar... Can we see any Guars?
The Guar seem to have sort of migrated away from the house.
But they're in the field still?
They are in the fields, correct. Through the rain, you're sort of looking around. Roll perception, Aravande.
11.
11's good enough. You see a very large Khajiit on the right-hand side of Guar Field, near one of the neighbors' houses, sort of looking at the house.
I'm going to head over in that direction and just be like, Sindara's over there, come on.
Does it look like Sindar?
You recognize it as Sindira.
Okay.
I just assumed.
That's all.
Yeah, Arvanda's just going to like walk really quickly with those nice long Altmer legs and just be like, in a whisper, like, Sindara, what's going on?
She seems weirdly transfixed. Next to her is a basket that's sort of toppled, and she says, Rain woke this one up. Went to check on Ari, but she wasn't in her room. Ari was supposed to be back from the Mulvanes. We drop off food for them because they don't got as much as others. But something's wrong. And she's just sort of staring at the Morvain house.
Does she seem like in a trance, or does she seem like cognizant and just like fixated?
Somewhat fixated, like you're not sure what's going on with her.
Okay.
Why are these all lit up? Before with Scamp, they only lit up when we touched them.
Something big's coming. Thank you everyone for listening. I know it's been a while, so it means a lot that you listened this far. I'd like to thank the amazing contributors to this episode, specifically Vault of Daedalus, Leamon Tuttle, and the artists ArtistRatPB and Spookins. Links to the artists will be in the description. Thanks again to sensitivity readers Lou, Geese, Dumac, Raven, and Goon for your help bringing these characters to life in a respectful way. Special thanks as always to Kaz Wright for his music. The song you heard at the end is called Discarded. More Guar Field adventures continue next time. See you then.